Hey guys, today I'm filming my chopping block Will I Declutter update number 3. If you guys have not seen my intro or my previous updates, I will have my playlist linked up here. And basically what this series is all about is that at the very beginning of the year, I did declutter my collection and I got rid of quite a few things. If you guys would like to see that, I'll have my declutter linked up above. But as I was going through my collection, there were quite a few products that I was on the fence about whether I should keep them or get rid of them. And normally if I'd be on the fence, I would just end up keeping products, but I want to try to have a little bit more of a different mindset, and I only want to keep products in my collection that I absolutely love. So all the things that I was on the fence about, I decided to pull them from my collection and put them in this project. So if you guys would like to see all the items in my project, I would definitely recommend checking out the intro, because in these updates, I'm just letting you know what products I tested over the past 2 months. And in these videos, I am making my final decision whether I'm going to keep them or pass them on. Also in these videos, I will show you other products I'm deciding to declutter, any items that I'm throwing away, and any products that I return. So I kind of have a combination of different things in these videos, but I'm going to jump right in with the items from this project that I have tested over the past 2 months. The first thing is an eyeshadow palette. This is the Lorac Pro 2 palette. This is not a very popular palette. The Lorac Pro 1 is, but the 2 isn't because of the colors. People say this is a really cool tone, and yes, over here it's very cool, but there are warm tones in this palette as well. Top row matte, bottom row shimmers. You guys know how these palettes work. So I've actually done several different looks using this palette. I think maybe like 3 looks using it, but I don't like this palette because of the formula. I am not a fan of Lorac Pro shadows. For me, they are way too dusty and they over blend where they end up looking muddy and patchy. So I don't like the formula of these, but the reason I was keeping this palette was for 2 shades in particular. I was keeping this palette for the shade Light Brown and Nectar. Nectar is perfect transition. Light Brown is a perfect crease color for me. And then I looked through my collection. I don't have anything exact, but I do have some eyeshadows that are similar that can probably give the same effect. So for that reason, I did decide to get rid of this. Also, I tried using the plum shade in a look, and it did not show up very purple. It showed up very muted, not as rich as it looks in the pan. So because of that reason, I was just disappointed in that shade. And as I said, I don't like this formula in general. And even though I really love those 2 colors, I wasn't reaching for this palette even just to use them, because if I had hit pan on those shades, I was using them very consistently, I would have ended up keeping this. But because I literally never used it at all, I figured there was no reason to hang on to this. And then all the other products I tested over these past 2 months are all lip products. These are all really bright colors for the summertime. And I used to love buying these shades. I liked bright pinks. I liked bright pink corals, but my tastes have changed. I do still like corals and I like them bright, but I don't want them to be like neon. So my tastes have changed a little bit, so I'm actually getting rid of a ton of these products, which is really exciting. So first I had 3 different ColourPop Lippie sticks, and I've got them all swatched here. So with all of these products, I did try them all on my lips so I could see what I thought of the color, and I did try them on when I have makeup on. For me, if I have a bare face and then try on a lipstick, I'm gonna hate the lipstick just because I have a bare face. But if I've got a full face of makeup on, then that will give these products a better chance of me liking them. So the first lipstick I have is in the shade Rocket. This is a satin finish, a beautiful pink coral. Here's a swatch of ColourPop Lippie Stick in Rocket. On my lips, this just looked way too bright and neon. Also, I don't love the satin finishes because they basically look like a cream lipstick on my lips, so I am going to be getting rid of this one. Then I have the shade Toucan, which is a matte finish. This is a really beautiful red toned pink. I think this is a dupe for a MAC lipstick. Here's a swatch of ColourPop Lippie Stick in Toucan. It is a pretty shade, but I didn't like it on me. It pulled a little bit too pink, and it's a color that I was keeping because I didn't have anything like it, but I never wear reds and I'm not about to start wearing them. So for that reason, I am going to be letting this one go. My last lippy stick is in the shade Poppin. I had gotten this for free when ColourPop hit 2 million followers on Instagram, I believe. And this is a matte X finish. This is the most intense, really bright pink color without being neon. Here's a swatch of the ColourPop Lippie Stick in Poppin. This is a color that I don't wear very often, but when I tried it on, I was like, That's amazing. It was so pretty. Even if I only wear this like once a year, I'm gonna hold on to it because this color was so cool, so unique, and I really love the Matte X formula because it's actually a true matte finish. Next, I had two ColourPop Ultra Matte lips, and I purchased these in my second Ultra Matte lip order, and these are the very first formula. ColourPop's changed their formula a bunch of times, but I have mostly the Ultra Matte lips from the original formula. So the first color I have is Donut, which is a really bright orangey coral color, and in the packaging it looks a little bit more muted, but on my lips it was really bright, but it was also pretty light and white base. And here's a swatch of the ColourPop Ultra Matte lip in Donut. It just looked really odd on me. Also, just because I've had this for so long, I feel like the original release of the Ultra Matte lips are just getting a little bit too thick and the consistency just isn't the same. So because I don't like the shade and because of the consistency, I am going to be getting rid of this one. And then I have the shade First Base, which is a bright light medium pink, and it is blue tone, but it isn't too bright or too neon. Here's a swatch of the ColourPop Ultra Matte lip in First Base. This is definitely a color that I can get down with these days, but I did notice that there is some odd coloring around the bottom where some areas look bright pink. Also, I feel like it's starting to smell a little funky, and again, this is so old that the formula is thickening up. So when I first got these, I didn't wear them that much because I didn't love the colors on me. First Base, I just thought was kind of blah, but now this is the kind of pink that I actually really like. I've definitely changed the kind of pinks that I like, and this one does look perfect because it is bright without being too neon or too white base. But because this is on the older side, I will be getting rid of this. Maybe in the future I might repurchase this shade because I do really like it, but as of now I definitely don't need to repurchase any lip products, so I'm going to be getting rid of both of these. Then I have two Lorac Alter Ego lip glosses. I had gotten these for $10 each. They were part of a summer collection and then had gone discounted on sale, and I totally bought them as an impulse buy. It was free shipping, and I absolutely regret it because I've used these probably twice. Now these are very pigmented glosses. They're not sticky. These do have nice formulas, but I just don't think that I need them in my life. And I think that opaque glosses are great, but I don't actually love that kind of formula anymore. I prefer glosses that have more of a light medium opacity. For glosses that are super opaque, I'm just afraid that they're gonna be really messy. So the first shade I have is Dream Girl, which is a beautiful pinky coral color. Here's a swatch of the Lorac Alter Ego lip gloss in Dream Girl. I really do love this shade. I think it is gorgeous, but it is very similar to the NYX Butter Gloss and Peaches and Cream. This one has a little bit more of a coral to it, and Peaches and Cream is a little bit more on the pink side, but they are almost identical, and I do prefer the NYX Butter Gloss formula, so I will be getting rid of this one. And then we have Dream Girl, which is a really bright pink that has a little bit of a purple tone to it. Here's a swatch of the Lorac Alter Ego lip gloss in Heartbreaker. I just don't wear bright pinks like this. I don't know why I purchased these. So mad at myself. They're good formulas and they're pretty colors, but they just aren't something that I reached for. So I will be getting rid of these. I'm going to see if maybe a friend wants them because I've literally used them 2 times on my lips. So we'll see if somebody wants those. So I'm getting rid of 7 things and keeping 1. So I feel very good about that. So I'm really happy with that progress, but I also am getting rid of a ton more things in this video, which is even more exciting. So I do have 2 returns that I made over the past 2 months. They would be 2 foundations. First is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra 24-Hour Wear Foundation. That foundation did not have as much coverage as I would like. It wasn't mattifying enough for me, and it also was not my perfect shade, and it really oxidized. I did do a first impression on that foundation, which I will have linked up here. And the second foundation I returned is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I had the shade NC15. It was my perfect match. It did give good medium buildable-ish coverage, and the only problem with that foundation is that it smelled like paint, and it was so strong that I could literally smell it on my face when I've got all kinds of powder products piled on top. 4 hours later, I could still smell it on my face, and I wore it multiple days to try to see if, you know, I wasn't going to notice it anymore, if it was going to go away, and it didn't. A lot of people love that foundation, and I think if you aren't as sensitive to scents as I am, you might like it. And it is a really affordable high-end foundation, but I just figured the scent was going to bother me too much, and right now I have a ton of foundation, so I didn't need it. So for that reason, I did return it. I do have a first impression on that foundation as well, which I will have linked up here. So now moving on to the items that unfortunately I'll be throwing in the trash. These are all items that have gone bad. The first is a sleek cream to powder blush. I have the shade French Rose, which is a beautiful coral color. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is cracking along the sides. And also it is just super dried out. The texture is just really flaky, balling up. So this thing is just donezo, so I'll be throwing that out. It's a beautiful color. I do like this formula, but I just don't use cream blushes, which is why it dried out. And unfortunately, I'll be trashing 4 ColourPop lip products. I have never had lip products expire on me as quick as ColourPops do, which is really, really sad. Yes, they're very affordable, but I don't want to have to freaking throw them all away. So the first one I have is an Ultra Matte lip in the shade Solow. This is from the very first Ultra Matte lip purchase of mine. It is the old formula. This one is very, very old, and this one smells stank like glue. And this is my all-time favorite ColourPop liquid lipstick. It's a really beautiful muted salmon pink on me, and I actually have already repurchased it because I love this color so much. And then I have 3 ColourPop Ultra Satin lips I'm throwing out. These are not very old, probably like a year and a half max. I have the shade Molly, November, and Alyssa. This is from the Humble Brag collection, and these 2 were created by Kathleen Lights. You guys, these smell straight up like freaking Elmer's glue. It is so strong. You guys, some of my ultra matte lips that I've had for way longer than these don't smell at all, but these ultra satin lips stink. If you guys have ultra satin lips, please smell them and tell me if yours smell like glue. And it isn't my brand new ones, it's ones that I've had about a year or so. That's so freaking upsetting for me because that's just way too soon to expire. Maybe this is not gonna mess up my lips, but you guys know I've had reactions before and I don't want to chance it. I don't want to mess with it. So if it is stinking, I'm gonna toss it. So that's really, really upsetting for me. And I did repurchase the shade Molly because it is one of my all-time favorite ColourPop lip products. I did do a video all about my top 10 ColourPop lip products, which I'll have linked up here. I am not going to repurchase November and Alyssa. While I think these are really beautiful colors, they're not holy grails for me, and as quickly as they go bad, I'm not going to repurchase these. And then I actually have a bunch of other things I'm going to be decluttering. Some of these things are older and I'll probably be giving them to friends or tossing them. And then I do have some products that I will probably try to sell. So the first things I'm letting go of are these ColourPop bronzers. I had these in my monthly makeup basket for the entire season of spring and I did not once reach for them. So I have 2 shades. I have Paradise Cove, which is a satin finish, and Skinny Dip, which is a matte finish. I use the satin shade to bronze and the matte shade to contour. These are really great light colors for my skin tone, but this texture is so thick and it is so hard to work with. These are not super creamy. They are a different texture than the highlighters, and these are just really hard to work with and blend on your skin without them patching off your foundation. And for the blushes, they're a little bit easier for me to work with because I don't mind putting on intense blush, but I can't have really intense bronzer all over my face. These are just way too hard for me to work with and blend out. So for that reason, I will be getting rid of them. Next, I have another impulse buy. This is a really cool product from Lancome. It is the My Parisian blush in the shade number 2 Rose Haussman, a beautiful rose color. This product is similar to the ColourPop blushes, except it's so much better because it is more creamy and a lot easier to work with. And they only had 2 shades. The other one was a lot more orangey, so I decided to go with this. I don't really wear pink blushes. I did get it for a pretty good deal because I bought this when I was working at Belk, but this was totally an impulse buy. I've only used it a couple times, so I'm probably going to see if a friend wants this since it isn't dried out or anything like that, but really sad that I even freaking bought it. Then I have another impulse buy that is another blush. This is the L'Oreal Baked Gelato Vivid Swirl blush in the shade Guava. It's a really pretty color, and I just have a hard time picking this up on a brush. I have to use a really, really dense brush to pick it up, even though it's really pigmented. It's just because of this formula. I might try to use this 1 or 2 more times to know for sure, but this is something I will be selling if I decide to get rid of it because I've only used it twice so far. I bought it full price like Why, Heather? Why did you do this? It just isn't that easy of a texture to work with, even though it is really pretty. So if you have that, or you have the highlighters, let me know what kind of brush that you use to get the most pigmentation. Then I'm also going to be getting rid of 3 Clinique cheek pops. Now, I love the cheek pop formula, but I went ham and bought a bunch of shades that aren't my kind of shade. So the first one I have is Melon Pop. I love peachy blushes, and this one does show up on me, but it's just too pale for my liking. I like more intense corals or more intense peaches, and this one is just like a creamsicle color. Really pretty, but it's just not the kind of shade that I wear. Then I'm also getting rid of 2 pink blushes. Why did I buy pink blush when I know I never use it? The first one is in the shade Pink Pop, a really nice, beautiful light pink color that, again, I've used like twice, but it's, why, Heather? And then I have the shade Rosy Pop, a little bit of a deeper pink. Again, never freaking wear it. This one looks like I've not even touched it, so I'm going to be selling those as well. I'm so mad at myself for buying all of those. Now, I do have other shades that I'm obsessed with. Peach Pop, Ginger Pop, and Heather Pop, amazing, but I just didn't need all of these other ones. I just got gung-ho because I really love the formula. And these next couple products are all things that I've received for PR or I've gotten for free in some way, which I do feel bad about getting rid of these, but I'm not going to hold on to them if I don't like them. So the first things would be these Jessie's Girl Fluid eyeshadows. I have the shade Penny Arcade, which is like a rose gold. Destiny is a taupe. I have the shade Royal Orchid and Rose Bronze. So this one's more purple, this one's more cranberry. And I remember Lipgloss Leslie mentioning these in a couple of Friday favorites. I just had a hard time working with these because I do have hooded lids and I just wasn't waiting long enough for them to fully set. And it's just too finicky of a product for me. I'm just so basic, I don't know how to work with stuff like this, which is the reason why I've never purchased Estee Glitter and Glow, is because I'm afraid I just won't know how to use it. So I will be getting rid of all of these beautiful shades, but it's just too finicky of a product for me to work with. The next thing I'm getting rid of is from the brand ittsee. I feel really bad about this because I actually contacted them to see if I could test out some of their products, and they were gracious enough to send me a bunch of things. They sent me 9 eyeshadows, a bronzer, and a blush. I really did like the formula of these, but none of these are colors that I would wear except maybe the blush. And for that reason, I never ever reach for these. And I don't want to be a brat, but I'm just so picky, and because I just got sent some random colors that they chose, unfortunately they just didn't line up with the kind of shades that I like. Formula's good, but I don't love these colors except for the blush, but I don't need to hang on to that either because I do have something similar, so I'm just going to be giving this away to a friend. And then next I have some Estee Lauder shadows. I got these when I worked at Estee Lauder, and these are all products that they have discontinued, and these were little testers that I popped out of this really awful tester packaging and put in a Z palette. Depotting these was a biatch, especially these cyber shadows. This is the same formula as the MAC Extra Dimension eyeshadows. These are beautiful colors here, but I literally never ever wear them. I've contemplated keeping these 2 browns because they're really nice. I'm probably going to see if I have a friend that wants these shadows. These cyber shadows were not meant to be depotted, and I don't think that they could make it if I tried to mail them in some way. So I'm going to be getting rid of all of these and keeping the palette, and this is going to become my new like random single shadows palette. Those shadows are nice, but again, they're just not colors that I love, and I never ever reach for them, so I might as well get rid of them. And the last thing is very random. This is a sample of the Ulta Beauty Fig and Honey Moisturizing Body Lotion. This is a huge sample. This could last me forever because I never use lotion, but I do not at all like the smell of fig, so I'm going to be giving this away probably to my mom. She likes a lot of lotion, so she will probably enjoy that. So guys, that was my chopping block Will I Declutter update number 3. I feel so successful. Literally, I'm getting rid of tons of stuff, and I'm only keeping 1 ColourPop Lippie stick. So this was a really good update. I'm so happy about everything I decluttered. I feel so much better about my collection, and I decluttered these things just in time to do my update for my makeup inventory for the year. So really, really excited about all of this stuff. I would love to know your thoughts. If you've tried out any of these products, I would love to know what things you may have decluttered recently, and let me know if your ColourPop Ultra Satin lips stank like glue. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.